I mean, plant nurseries, it's not just for trees and forests. Like, there are plant nurseries for a lot of things, mostly crops. Because again, like the most vulnerable part of a plant's life cycle is when it first comes out of the ground from a seed. And so you don't want, so you want to like protect them at that stage. Okay, we are sapling positive. That's good. Let me break the rest of this. Oh, good. Good. So not only are we sapling positive, we have enough to replant the trees and put 4 in the nursery and still have the 2 that we started with. I suppose the sapling nursery can be considered like a backup. So if something terrible happens and I lose all my trees and all my other saplings, then there should be enough saplings in the sapling nursery to restart the tree farm. So it's partly decorative, partly it's some sort of backup plan in case I really, really mess up. So there you go, 4 of each saplings. We'll put the stuff we don't use in the back. So we're probably never going to use the oak. We're probably never going to use the spruce. We are unlikely to use the birch. And we are unlikely to use the acacia. We might use, probably not going to use the dark oak. Like the jungle trees are the most vulnerable, so we do that. Alright, so there's our sapling nursery. Interesting. So a furnace room, sapling nursery, okay, that's done. A map room. Well, I mean, right now we don't really have that many maps. We don't have any maps. I think I should breed my cows again. Get some leather. We need 15 bookcases, right? And then 15 times 3 is 75, so we need like 75 leather for the enchanting room. I can't believe it. We have 1 map for the map room. Let me just get my map. I guess I need to design the map room too. It's just gonna be a wall with maps on it. You might be surprised to learn that the map room is actually a room with maps on it. So item frame? Item frame is sticks and leather. Okay. Alright, well, let's make one of these, see what this looks like. Item frame. And then get my map. Let's see what my map looks like. So we walk. Alright, so that's on the map already. I mean, you can see the Department of Public Works is like 4 times as big as the town hall, so it's a pretty massive building there. We need to design the map room. Jungle wood. How much spruce wood do I have? I mean, it's just gonna be a wall. Is there any way for me to make the wall look better than just the wall? So the map room, we probably want like just 2 walls. Just spruce planks? Can't really think of a good thing to put here. all the way to the ceiling? I don't know if we're ever gonna have this many maps. Just put some light up there. Or do I want more space? I kind of want more space, don't I? I don't want it to be this... You want to step back to look at the maps. Alright, change my mind. I might just have one more. I don't know though, it seems like we could have more walls. How far back do you need to stand to see the maps? Do I want to block this off completely? It seems a bit weird to block that off. You kind of need this much space to see the maps. Unless I remove the stone stuff, push this back, that probably is the better answer. Actually, we might, yeah, alright, let's do that. Alright, we're gonna push this back. So the mat room's gonna look a little different. Let's chop that down. And then let's push this back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have one wall of maps like there. And then maybe like a second smaller wall of maps. Like there. Oops. So if we ever get a like giant mosaic of maps, we can put it there. For now, what happens if I do this? Oh, you can make them tile like that. Okay, so the maps will tile. Right, so I can actually make more maps. Make more detailed maps. Hey, that's cool. So this, if I extend this out, if I actually extend this out, then we can also have like a map of the North Village as well. Hey, this is cool. Hey, that's real cool. We should make more maps. Except no, because we have to keep them updated. Like if we make more maps, we have to walk around and keep them updated all the time. Do they? Hold on, let me just... I wish they automatically updated. Let me just see. Map. Used to view explored terrain. When you first create a map, hold an empty map and press the use item to transform empty map into a map item, which gradually begins filling with information. Mapping. Crafting a map creates an empty map. The map will be drawn for the first time when it is held and used with use item. This map can then be adjusted to different zoom levels. After conversion to a drawn map item, it starts to draw a top-down view of the player's surroundings with north pointing to the top of the map. An oval pointer indicates the map's position on the map. and will move in real time as the player moves across the terrain shown on the map. To record the world on the map, that specific map must be held in the player's hands while the player moves around the world. So you have to hold it and move around. The world will be recorded as is during exploration, meaning that if the world is modified, the player must revisit the area while holding the map in order to update the map's view. Maps can also be cloned. A map's parameters are fixed when the map is first used, meaning the map does not remain centered on the player. The drawing snaps to a preset grid. Okay. Other players will only be displayed on the map if they have a map in their inventory cloned from the one being looked at. When placing a map into an item frame, the map will display with the green pointer showing at the location of the item frame. This is to help the player see where they are in relation to the area that the map is showing. When the player leaves the area shown on a specific map, the player pointer will transform into a white dot on that map. Note that this indicator is not shown if the player is too far from the map center. The radius is 320 blocks per level of zoom. The indicator will shrink to a smaller white dot if the player is very far from the map center. The radius is 320 blocks per level of zoom. Upcoming. The dot will move along the edge of the map to show the relative location of the player. While the map is in the netherworld, maps in the end, a player can make a large piece of pixel art facing upward, center a map on it, and place that map in an item frame. Minimap is held in the offhand. Or you can hold it in the offhand for a minimap. That's interesting. That's what I should have been doing all this time. Each pixel of a map corresponds to a variably sized area of the world in multiples of 8. Position indicator zoom out. How do I... Cloning. So you can zoom out by putting a map in the middle and then have paper around it. That's the zoom function. Maps are always aligned to a grid at all zoom levels. That means zooming out any map in a specific area covered by that map will always have the same center regardless of where the map was originally centered. As such, maps will be aligned by map width, -64. All maps generated will zoom out to the same coordinates, guarantee they are aligned on the map wall. Cloning. You can clone it. Newly explored area will appear in both instances, so that's helpful. So if I want to get this part, I have to make a different map. Go over there. Create it, and then zoom out. I was hoping you could just expand the map. Like if I take this map, I was hoping you could just kind of get the next one through crafting. Is there a map item format? Tutorials mapping. Let me just keep looking at this. Map sets. When crafting a set of maps, there are two approaches. The first is to travel well outside the current map's edge before crafting a new map, which will conserve map crafting resources and keep confusingly redundant map space to a minimum. The other method is to deliberately ensure an overlap so that it's easier to find the same landmarks on multiple maps. The zoom levels introduced in the Pretty Scary update made the overlap technique of little benefit on any map at zoom level 0, none, through 3, because an overview map at the next zoom level stitches the maps together. An overview map at the next zoom level stitches the maps together. Right. Okay, you actually have to walk. You actually have to walk out there. Overlapping maps are no longer able to create at all. Okay, well we have to do it manually. So if I punch it, I get it back. If I put it in my offhand, how cool with the mini map. That's actually quite good. That's actually quite useful. Okay, so this dual wielding is quite useful. Alright, let me just put that back on the wall. Put that back on the wall. There you go. So the map room only has one map so far, and we can create more if we want to. What is that orange dot? Why is there an orange dot there? Oh, that's a pumpkin. Okay, I get it. Wait, let me just walk over to the farm because it might be better to have grown crops on the map instead of harvested crops. So the orange dot is a pumpkin. So it might be better if I have like more orange dots over here. How close do I have to be before this thing updates? Alright, so I don't actually have that many orange dots, do I? I guess it doesn't matter that much. Hey, maps are cool. Alright, great. So we have a map room. Maybe I should make more maps now, because what I want to do is... Because like the stuff outside the boundaries aren't going to change very much, right? So I might as well make them and just put them in place. So like the North Village is going to be like up there. How interesting. Alright, well we might have a mapping session at some point in the future. Alright, for now let's continue doing this. How interesting. Nether portal is there apparently. That's going to take a while to make. Enchanting table. Requires obsidian and a book. Okay, so let me just consider what I need. We need 15 books around the enchanting table. So we put the enchanting table there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So doing that gives us books for the enchanting table, or alternatively 2, 3, 4. We can do that, which is also interesting. So our enchanting table goes there. It's not gonna be very big. Do I need anything? I guess I want a box here for the enchanted stuff. Maybe like several boxes for the stuff that I enchant. So like keep all my like if I enchant a bunch of books, just keep the books there, right? Alright, let me just make some boxes there. I think some localized storage actually does make sense. Instead of like having everything in the bulk storage downstairs. Let me just make 2 more. Instead of everything in bulk storage in the basement, we should have some localized storage as well. So a couple of boxes for the enchanting. You might as well put torches above there as well. Sure.